Hello, and welcome to this little exhibition of some of the stuff that I've been working on for Glow V9. I'm going to show you a little bit about some interior design, some scripting systems, the player tools, and the monsters in general. So we're going to go into this yawning cave. We're asked if we want to do this on normal or on hard mode. We want to, for now, do this on normal difficulty. The difference between the two is that normal difficulty is designed to be doable by anyone, unless you're, I guess, a wisdom-based, unarmed fighting sorcerer wearing all intelligence gear or something like that. So unless you're that person, you shouldn't have too much trouble doing the normal difficulties. And if you're a caster, you can also pretty much just rely on your summoning abilities for that, the epic summons. The hard modes on the flip side are considerably more difficult, and will push some builds to the limit. Some of the best builds still won't have too much difficulty with those, but there will be harder zones still called the group zones that are meant actually for groups of people. So right here we're fighting some orcs. As you've seen, we fought an orc archer and an orc fighter. Now we're fighting a fighter and rogue. I have a character here that's a fighter, 40 fighter, that's built with the recommend button, hence the imaginative and illustrative name of the recommend button. As the recommend button build, he has a long list of feats as a pure fighter, as you can tell. He's mainly focused on the longsword, as you can see here. Overwhelming improved critical, epic weapon focus, epic weapon specialization, overwhelming, focus specialization, blah blah blah. You note that for some reason he also has great sword and longsword weapon focus only. And for another mysterious reason, he decided that taking point blank shot and rapid shot would be a good idea. Yeah, so anyway, as a recommend build fighter, he also has a discipline, parry, and taunt as his 3 class skills, because we all know how amazing parry is. Can't get enough of it. He also, as you've noted, does not have tumble, which means that his AC should actually be 60, but since this is a normal zone, we're actually assuming he does not have that full 60 AC and doesn't have tumble at all, actually. Effectively, he should have 60, or be having his current 56 AC and be using a two-hander or dual wielding. So basically, he's at the wrong AC for his damage, and at the wrong damage for his AC, and he should be better in at least one of the categories than he actually is. Plus, his strength isn't capped. Has some weird feats and some other stuff. Again, trying to make sure this will work for characters on normal difficulty. If anyone has any suggestions, ideas, characters they have that they want to send me to test this stuff with and make sure it's doable, I'd greatly appreciate that. As you notice, we're not having too much difficulty tearing through these orcs. I've taken about a third of my health and total damage at this point. Just got a nasty crit. So after this little fight, I'm going to show you the bandage system. In the bandage system, you take 3 seconds. You will heal for a third of your total hit points, plus 1d20, plus your healing skill. Outside of combat, if you're in combat, you only heal for 1d20 plus your healing skill. Note that my character's healing skill of a whopping 0, which means he'll heal for 1/3 of his hit points, plus 1d20. So I'm going to click on him, release control of the character, and voila, he heals himself. And this can only be done every 30 seconds on a given character. You'll note that if we click on him again, we'll get a little information message that says additional bandaging won't help you yet. However, although you can't bandage an individual person more than every 30 seconds, you can run around bandaging multiple people within these 30 seconds. Just not any individual within more than once within that time period. The other player tool is the heal. This will heal you to your maximum hit points 10 times per day, unlike the bandages, which are unlimited use, but are mainly used outside of combat. Note that in the normal difficulty dungeons, you should never actually need these full 10 times per day unless you're just trying to see how far you can go. You'll always be able to rest again before then, well before then. Some people will also be able to even do the hard mode dungeons without even needing the full heals. but it's the group zone dungeons. If you do it with the correct number of people, you should be able to do it. Try to do it with too few people, and you'll be wishing you had more heals. To show you how this works, as you can see, I'm still attacking him. I'm going to click the button. I get healed to full. It does not take an action, does not take anything except clicking the button. And as you probably noticed, it sends a little message saying you have, X remaining heals left. So even though I haven't even taken a point of damage yet, I'll use it again. We see I have 8 heals left now. Now this should be more than sufficient to finish this zone. I could probably go through the entire dungeon or most of the dungeon without resting once if I wanted to. We're not going to have time to do this in this initial 10-minute video. I'm mainly trying to get to the end of this first zone. So, a few more things as we're just hacking our way through these orcs. Now you'll notice that there's this attack increased and attack and damage increased buttons and icons in the upper left. Right, I'm not sure what the hell I'm talking about right now. This is because he's a pure fighter. For every 13 levels of fighter, you get a 1 AB and 1 damage bonus. However, taking any level besides fighter will completely negate this bonus. Of course, if you are a fighter weapon master or fighter rogue or fighter champion of Torm or fighter blackguard or fighter pretty much anything else, you're still likely going to be better. But this is something that means that not multiclassing as a fighter isn't quite as painful. That it's more viable, at least, if you will. Less lackluster. In terms of this character's gear, he has boots of dodging +6. He has a cloak of fortification +5. As you can see, boots of dodging, cloak of fortification. He has a helmet that gives immunity to mind spells. He has gloves that give him haste, and haste only. Natural armor +5 amulet, +4 strength ring, +4 constitution ring, +6 strength belt. He also has full plate +11, tower shield +1, and a longsword that has electrical damage 1d8, +5 enhancement, and keen. You note that there's also something that says Massive Criticals 20 damage temporary. This is the scripted bonus from Overwhelming Critical. This means that every time you crit, not only do you get about 7 damage from Overwhelming Critical, but you gain an additional 20 on top of that from the Overwhelming Critical feat. And this is done because we removed Dev Crit. So I'm getting kind of low on health here, so I'm going to go ahead and heal. And now I have 7 heals left. And the bosses had injured while I've been talking. And it's probably pretty close to being badly wounded. There we go, so he's about half health. So as we're just beating this guy down, and we've used 1 heal so far, going into the fight with about half hit points, pretty much just because. He just hit his 25% or near death. At this point he gains a small damage bonus. He effectively enrages. This is more a little learning curve, if you will, because in the harder zones you'll see enrages that are harder that will literally make the boss do like 50% more damage in some cases, or you'll see other effects that happen at lower hit points. So this is a way to kind of show this concept at an easier difficulty level before it's absolutely essential to know it. So we've defeated him. You can look, you get an Orcish Warplate, +11 AC strength bonus +2, which is actually rather nice because my character right now only has 6 +4 out of the 12, so if we equip this Orcish Warplate, he actually gains 1 AB and 1 damage, and now it has the full +12 strength. So we'll continue into the next zone here, and that will be it for this current video. If there's interest, I'll make more, and again, talk and give some random thoughts as I'm going along. This is not a voiceover done afterwards, this is me I'm actually playing. So with that, I'll say goodbye for now, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this little video.